Edward IV, strong and handsome, and still an 18-year-old at the time of the 1461 battle, started his reign with pardons to many of his enemies from Taunton. Somerset accepted, but in 1464 would spurn his peace offering. Lancaster opposition still carried on in the north, especially as the Crown's diplomacy with Scotland in 1463 threatened the Lancastrian century there. As the Scots expelled Henry VI, Henry Beaufort, Duke of Somerset, turns on Edward IV, a new king seeking to prove himself in the shadow of the mighty Warwick. Edward delegated suppression of these risings to Warwick and the Neville family, principally John Neville, the Marquis of Montagu. Hello everyone, welcome back to Winter Quartering. Today we're gonna play a short 3-turn scenario of Plantagenet, Cousins War for England, GMT Games. The scenario is called Somerset's Return. Our scenario will start with the levy phase on the 5th turn and will end with the campaign phase of the 7th turn. You can see the Lancastrians are the rebel side in this scenario, and we have one of the kings, Henry VI, currently in exile on the 5th box of our calendar. Meanwhile, Henry Beaufort, 3rd Duke of Somerset, expected his return at Bamberg. The Yorkists are the king's side in the scenario. We have the Lords Edward of March and Lord Warwick, and they started in London, which is currently under Yorkist favor among with the south of the country. The Lancastrians start the scenario with a strong support in the north and also in Wales. The stronghold of Harlech is currently under Lancastrian favor. The victory threshold is at 25. Meanwhile, the Lancastrians start with 6 influence points, and they have an edge on the fortresses, but the Yorkists answer with a majority of cities under their influence. The towns are even. Lord Warwick will start with the Montagu capabilities that grants him the special vassal. This even if Montagu is a Lancastrian capabilities, but for scenario rules, this is our setup. Once Warwick disbands, the Montagu card will be removed from play. Our Arts of War decks will comprehend the 13 basic Arts of War cards for each side and their 9 one-rose cards. So, we are ready to start playing. Arts of War phase. Capabilities. for the Lancastrian. So we have a Percy's power. We don't have an Northumberland, Lord Percy, in our game, so it's discarded. Then we have King's Parley. Henry VI cylinder is currently in our calendar, so this one is discarded. Capabilities for the King's side. England is my home. Let's give this one to Lord Warwick, since he has an influence rating of 5 and we don't want our enemy to gain 5 influence in the case he is forced to go in exile. Second capability, Soldiers of Fortune. When levying troops, this lord may pay 1 coin to also add 2 mercenaries. Let's give this one to King Edward. Warwick is already full first turn, so we skip the pay phase and we go straight to exiles and vassals. So rebels, they have the king, one of the 2 kings of England, Henry VI, currently in this third exile box, so they will muster. He will go to Scotland. No other vassals, no other lords, so let's begin the master phase. So let's start with Lord Somerset. We'll get the Church Blessing capability that gives his man-at-arms an armor value of 1 to 4. And then we'll levy troops in Bamberg. We put a depleted marker, and Bamberg grants him another man-at-arms and a unit of longbowmen, precious longbowmen. We go to 6th troop. King Henry VI. We levy capability, Margaret. Each tides of war, this lord at stronghold outside London or in exile box adds +2 Lancastrian influence points. Very nice. Then he will get My Father's Blood. This lord levies special vassal Clifford and has +1 valor. Very nice, since it has 0. Let's start with King Edward. By the way, he uses the card of March because he's still very young. We get York's favorite son for +1 influence, +1 command. Then we have an influence check to try and levy Falkenberg. That's nice vassal to have. So we spend 1 influence points and try to levy Falkenberg. And by the way, we'll also have a bonus at our influence rating of +2. So we have an influence rating of 3 and +2 for Falkenberg. So we are good. The vassal here. Falkenberg has a service rating of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Lord Warwick. Lord Warwick needs cards. 1 action. Then we can try an influence check for placing favor in St. Albans. So it will cost us 2. 1 for making the check and 1 for the one-way distance of our target. And we need a 5 or less. Okay, so St. Albans is Yorkists now. So the Yorkists are now ahead in the town count. Last action, let's try and levy Lord Essex. So influence point, a lot of influence points for the Lancastrians. Maybe not the best move to levy more vassal, but we want to be ready in case of a fight. We have a 3. So Essex joins the Warwick cause, the king's side. Let's go to the plan phase. And we have to stack 4 cards. We are in winter, it's cold. And by the way, the waste phase is skipped on this turn per scenario rules. Campaign phase. Lord Somerset, he has 2 command points. With the first command point he will march to York, and with the second one he will put his influence, and then he has to hit 1 provender because he has 6 troops. Done. The cities now 1 in favor of the Yorkists. King's side, we have March. The Lord Edward will go to Oxford and he will place his favor in Oxford. So we have +1 on cities. Then also supply in Oxford for 2 provenders. These are our 3 commands. We have 3 command points because we have the York's favorite son capability. Then you will have to hit one of the 2 provenders. Then we have King Henry VI, and with his entire card he will march to Bamberg, and then he have to fed his troops for troop provenders. The Kingmaker, Warwick, he has 2 command points, so with the first one he will march to Gloucester, picking up Edward on the way, because it's a lieutenant, and with the second one he will place his influence, his favor in Gloucester, setting the Yorkist side ahead in the run for the cities. Then he need to be fed for 1 provender, and also Edward need to be fed for 1. Rebels, King Henry VI, with 1 action he will march, join Somerset, and with the other action he will make supply in Newcastle. He has 2 cards, so 2 provenders that he will give to his troops to eat. He has 8 troops, so 2 provenders. Yorkist turn. Warwick. Warwick with 1 command point will try to place an influence in Worcester, so another influence more, because 1 way needs 5 or less for another city for the Yorkists. Then he will supply in Gloucester for 2 provenders. Rebels, Somerset again, and he will go to Lincoln and then put his influence there. So -1 to the cities. Has to it is last provender. This card, it's Warwick again. And Warwick will discard 1 of his provender in order to march to Cardiff, and then with another one set the location to neutral. Then he has to hit for 1 provender, and so +1, because it's the net total. The Yorkist has 9 cities, meanwhile the Lancastrian has 5. And the campaign, Tides of War phase. +1 point for the Yorkists, because they have 1 lord in Wales. London and Calais are Yorkists, so +4, but +1 for Harlech being Lancastrian, so +3 for the Yorkists. Another +2 for the Yorkists because they have cities, another +1 for towns, but -1 for fortresses. Lancastrian also can count on Queen Margaret, so another +2. Campaign has ended. Levy phase, our turn 2. So, Arts of War. First the Lancastrians. This time events. Seamanship. This campaign, Lancastrians may sail for just 1 command action. Nice to know. Forced marches. This campaign, lone Lancastrian lords, not groups, march on road as if highway, so you can potentially move very fast with the Lancastrian. Here, just for a reminder, let's go with the Yorkists, the King's side. Jackade, rebel leader, calls himself a Mortimer, but Jackade died some years ago at this time. But this levy, Yorkist lords in adjacent to Yorkist dominated areas, each had 2 free successful parleys, but the only area we dominate is the south, and we are far away from it with our lords, so makes sense because Jackade died some time ago at this historical moment, so makes sense. Second capability, Espilis, sorry for butchering it. Yorkist spies. Play to inspect Lancastrian held cards. Okay, but since I'm playing solo, I don't need it. But very nice card. Pay phase. King Henry VI. So we must pay 2 coins for our troops. Click for the special vassals, so we are okay. Lord Somerset, 1 coin for your troops, please. King Edward, 1 coin for your troops, please. Lord Warwick, 1 coin for your troops. And I think 1 influence points because we have Lord Essex here. 1 influence point for the Lancastrian, and we shoot his service. I didn't pay for lords, guys, but we have 2 lords per side, so it's even. 2 for the Yorkies, 2 for the Lancaster, and this one stays the same spot. There's no one, I think, would like to disband since we only have 2 lords per side in this short scenario. Exiles and vassals, we are okay. So we go to the master phase. Let's start with the rebel side, Lancastrians. Let's start with King Henry. He wants more support, he needs more troops. Let's start by levying a vessel. Westmore is a good one. Let's try a check influence. Spend 1 influence point. And yes, Westmore answer the call of his old king. It's a good one because he has 3 loyalty rating. Then let's get another 2 cards. Lord Somerset. Let's try and levy Beaumont. Okay, he answered the call. Then we can muster Andrew Trollope, special vassal, our levy capability action. And Somerset now has also +1 value thanks to Andrew Trollope. Let's start with Lord Warwick. First action, we must parley. Okay, Cardiff, our friend. Other action, let's try and levy Norfolk, another vassal, preparing for war. 1 influence point. Okay, Norfolk, join the cause. Last action, levy transport. We need more cards. Edward, let's try and levy Oxford. Very nice. Another influence point. Joins the cause. Rating of 2, service rating of 2. Then let's try and levy Worcester. Lord Worcester, another influence check. Let's pay 1 more for increasing, boosting its influence rating to 4. It's a 3. Okay, we want it to be almost sure. So it has a service rating of 3, so 3 boxes to the right, and this one goes to the Edward mat. So we are very well prepared to the final shutdown. Last action, let's try levy troop here. So we exhaust Gloucester, and Gloucester give us 1 unit of longbowmen and 1 of militia. So time for campaign phase of turn 2. Let's begin with Somerset to command. So first action, we're gonna tax Lincoln because it's the seat of our Beaumont vassal. So check influence, we spend 1 influence. We need a 5 or less. Okay, it's a 1. And deplete Lincoln. We have 2 coins, very nice. And then we will supply from York. So we have 2 cards, so we can bring 2 provender from York to Lincoln. So King Edward, first action, we need money. So we're gonna tax Ludlow, that is our seat, so no need for influence check. And we gain 1, so we deplete Ludlow, and we gain 1 coin because it's a fortress, very precious, because we have none. Second action, let's supply from Hereford, but unfortunately we only have 1 card, so we are only able to get 1 provender. Third action, let's exhaust Hereford and get another provender. So 2 supply action, 1 tax action, and we are done, and we have 3 command points because we have the York's favorite song capability. Ooh, Henry VI. So we Henry VI, 1 supply action from York for 2 provenders, then 1 march action, but we have 4 marches. Lone Lancastrian lords, not groups, march on road as if highway. So with 1 march action we can reach Nottingham and hit our 2 provenders. Lord Warwick, 2 command points. First one, let's march to Gloucester. Second command point, let's march to Bristol, bringing along with us King Edward. So we all have to hit one provender for Warwick and 1 provender for Edward. It's the king turn. I think the king needs to spread a little bit of influence. So with the first action, let's place 1 influence in Nottingham. Second action, let's have a check with Dudley here. Meanwhile, towns at 0 now. Spend 2 influence points for a one-way influence check. So 3. It's a success. Leicester joins the Lancastrian cause, and now Lancastrians are ahead in towns. Lord Warwick, 1 parley action at Bristol, securing the cities. Lord Warwick also has 2 ships. So Harlech is in the same sea, so it's adjacent, considered one way, and will try to influence parley in Harlech. 2 points, and it's a success, so becomes neutral. Oh, last card for the Lancastrian. Henry VI, let's try and influence Stanley. So spend 2 influence points and try an influence check, just barely. Yeah. So 1 more down for the one of the 2 kings for Henry VI, and Derby joins the Lancastrian cause, possibly granted the possibility to levy also Stanley, Lord Stanley, to the Lancastrian cause. Another action, let's supply in Nottingham for 1 provender, better than nothing, and put a deplete marker here. The king now has 1 provender, the Somerset has 2. Last card for the king's side, Lord Warwick. Let's make a parley action in Harlech. So 2 more influence. Yes, it's successful. Harlech is now Yorkist. And then let's have a supply action, and since we have 2 ships, we can supply from the port without the plate in the city. So we have 2 ships, so 2 provenders for Lord Warwick, and that's it. Tides of war phase, end of campaign. No lords of either side in the north, in the south, or in the Wales. +2 for domination of the south for the Yorkists, but +2 for the domination of the north for the Lancastrians, so it's even. +2 favor in London for the Yorkists, another +2 favor in Calais, and another +1 for a favor in Harlech. Now another +2 for having the most cities, but +1 for the Lancastrian for the towns, another +1 for the fortresses. The Lancastrian also has Margaret capability, so another +2 for the Lancastrians. On this turn, we also gain influence for lords on the map. So the Lancastrian has a total combined influence of 10 for Somerset and King Henry, a modified influence. Meanwhile, Warwick and March has an unmodified influence of 7. So another +3 points for the Lancastrian. So it's a hard fight for gaining the most influence in the country. No disembark, neither side has win, no grow, no waste. Time to reset. Advance the turn marker and flip it to the levy phase. So this is the final turn of our scenario. Arts of War phase, my lord. Lancastrian, Revine. Play on an enemy lord in battle. Round 1, ignore that lord for engage and strike. Very powerful. And then we have rising wages. This levy Yorkist lords must pay 1 coin per levy troops action. Let's go with the Yorkists. Loyalty and trust. This levy, any 1 Yorkist lord has +3 lordship. Very nice indeed. Escape ship, play upon death check if Yorkist route to port for any routed Yorkist to go into exile instead. Okay, keep in our hand. Pay phase. King Henry VI, 2 coins. Westmoreland, no, it's not its turn. Somerset, 1 coin please, my lord. Then we have Beaumont, yes, shift this marker and pay 1 influence. King Edward, 1 coin please. Then Falkenberg, Worcester, Oxford, no, not their moment. My lord Warwick, 1 coin for your troop please. And then Norfolk and Essex, Yes, we shift one box and pay 2 influence. No excise, no vassals. Master phase. The kings need more men, so let's try levy vassal here in Leicester. Yes, it's successful. We pay 1 influence, of course. And Lord Dudley joins the king's side. We can also try to levy Lord Stanley to our cause. Pay another influence. It's a 6, it's a failure. I finish our actions. Lord Somerset turn. So Lord Somerset, what can you do? Definitely try to levy Lord Stanley. Pay another influence action. It's a 4, it's a success. Stanley now joins the cause and the ranks of Lord Somerset. With the other action we have, let's try and parley in Ravenscourt just to secure the fortress's advantage. So cost 2 influence points. It's a 6, it's a failure. Bad luck for the king's side. Remember, a 6 is always a failure. Always. The Yorkists, the king's side. One lord will have +3 lordship this turn, but we can't also levy troops because we need coin and we have none. We have none. Rising wages. So let's try a parley with Lord Warwick, Milord Warwick, and we also say that this lord has a +3 lordship. So he has an total amount of 6 lordship points. Impressive, Milord Warwick. So for with the first action, we try to parley in Pembroke. We have 2 ships, so we give another 2 influence to the Lancastrians, but we want to exploit the failure of influencing Ravenscourt by the Lancastrian. It's a 2. Fantastic, so it becomes neutral, and now 7. So let's try to influence again it, paying another 2 by trying to bring it to the Yorkist cause. Okay, it's a success. Warwick has a rating of 5. Pembroke, now they have an edge in the strongholds. Then we could spend 5 influence points, try to influence Shaftesbury. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 ways, and it's expensive. +1 for the influence check, like basic. It's expensive, but maybe it's worth it. I don't know. I just like to do it now. Okay, very nice. Yes, because it's also another important vassal and another city. And also we control Wales. We have dominance in Wales right now. We try to levy Shaftesbury. Lord Shaftesbury. We have a -1 influence rating. Okay, so we now need a 4 or less. So it's a 4, just barely. So Shaftesbury joins King Edward's cause, the Yorkist cause, and the ranks of the mighty Warwick. These are a lot of vassals. So 2 boxes. Let's try another influence here in Wales. Okay, joins the Yorkist cause, another city, 2 influence points, another 2 influence points to try, 3 influence points, sorry, to try to influence Exeter. Yes, it's a success. So we had with 1 influence point, Pembroke to neutral, second one, Pembroke to Yorkist, third one, Shaftesbury to Yorkist, fourth one, we levy this vassal. The fifth one, Wales to the Yorkists. And the sixth one, Exeter to Yorkists. That was a lot of parley from Lord Warwick. Let's go with Edward, King of England. Let's try and levy Lord Devon. Expand 2 influence because we want to boost our rating. It's a 3. Lord Devon joins the cause. So just barely because it had also a fealty rating with the Lancastrian side. With the other action, we'll gain a ship, and with the other action, 2 cards. Okay, campaign phase, and this time we have 6 cards per side. First card, Somerset. 2 actions. I think we need food. Let's make a supply action from York, bringing the 2 provenders with our 2 cards to Lincoln. And also another supply action from Lincoln itself for another 2 provenders. Edward! No need to tax because this is the last turn of the game, so we don't have to worry for the pay phase of the next turn. Let's march to Oxford and then deplete Oxford and supply for 2 provenders. And with the last action, let's march to St. Albans because we have 3 commands for York's favorite song capability. And then we eat 1 provender. We feed our people. Henry VI. So let's march, go to Lincoln, our friend Somerset, and go along with him to Peterborough. So these are our 2 actions. We must eat 2 for Henry VI and 1 for Somerset. That will land 1 provender to his king. How gracious. Next card, we have Warwick. Lord Warwick, come help. So we have 2 command points. And march by highways to the side of our king. Then we have to feed our people. Henry VI. Let's do a parley action in Peterborough. So we have +1 city. Parley action also in Halley. We spend 2 influence points, but we are very high. Spending 2, we are at 16 currently. Yes, it's a success. So this is the situation right now. They're playing on the defensive. So march. Let's move in Bedford. Make a parley there. The towns as +1, and then return to St. Albans with the 3rd command. Eat 1 provender. Somerset, Lord Somerset. Let's try parley. Attempt a parley in Northampton, spending 2 influence points. So 3, it's effective. So restoring the town. And then we have 6 cards, 3 ways. Let's deplete Newcastle for 2 provenders. We have 6 cards combined with Harry. Warwick. Let's march to Cambridge and then the favor there. So, +1 again for the Lancastrian. And they both have to eat. So 1 provender each. King Harry VI. Let's march to Ely and try to influence Lynn with a parley action. Successful. It cost us 2 influence points, of course. But now 0. We need to eat 0 provender, but Somerset has 6, so he will provide for his king. The York is march, counter march. Not the best sequence of cards here, really. Also, the turn before we didn't want to intercept because Warwick has 1, only 1. It's very difficult to intercept. We could have tried, but Edward has 3 valor, but he couldn't bring Warwick along with him, so we must wait. So in this turn, we need to supply from Cambridge 2 times for 2 provenders, and we'll try an influence check in Bury, St. Edmunds. So we spend 2 influence points, 3 influence points, because we want to boost our influence rating by 1. It's a 1 now is Yorkis, so the town count is to 0, but the Lancaster definitely took the lead. Last card for the Lancaster is Somerset. We will attempt an influence check here. Parley action for 2 influence points. effective, so it removes York's influence. Also, the other action will be a parley here. So 1, so it will bring the Lancastrian side forward again for the run for towns. The influence now it's 11. Last card of the game, Warwick. The Yorkist needs a win. So they try an approach here. And of course they must accept battle and don't run away in exile. So this will be the big battle of Ely. The kings stand one in front of the others. In the meantime, Warwick will face and rebuke for the Duke of Somerset. But the Lancastrian has an ace. They play the Ravine card. Play on an enemy lord in battle round 1. Ignore that lord for engage and strike. Super powerful. And we play it on Warwick. So Warwick, it will be practically ignored on the first round of the battle. So it's on the first round it will be Edward against the 2 Lancastrian lords. Very dangerous. So missiles. In the first round, the Yorkist has 7 hits of missile. Meanwhile, the Lancastrian will have 12. There's a lot of hits from longbowmen and militias troops. So let's start absorbing with the poor Edward and start with these 2 militia. So one of the absorb, one not. 1 militia away. Let's continue with that militia. Woo! Another one hit 9. Okay, it's safe. By the way, the militia has an armor of 1. It's a 5, and the militia is gone. Let's try absorb with the 3 longbowmen. Also an armor of 1. 1 is safe. Let's try with the last longbowman. Woo! Another 1. Okay, no. Rooted. Very dangerous situation. We try to absorb with our vassal with only 1 troop and another 3 hits. Start absorbing with Devon. Devon is safe. Another hit. Safe again. And Devon is rooted with the 3rd hit. Disaster. Let's start absorbing the 7 hits with Lord Somerset. And Lord Somerset has the Church Blessing. So its men-at-arms has a rating armor of. Let's try absorb the first 3 hits. Ooh, 1 it's rooted. Another 2 hits with the men-at-arms. 1 rooted, another 1. So he only has 1 man-at-arms. So this time, let's try to absorb with the King's Longbowman. This time, with the King's Longbowman. And they are rooted. This is the situation right now. We could also have spent Valor for Lord Devon, but forgot to do it. For now, I'm putting Lord Devon here, but it will be immediately disbanded. So, melee phase. Ooh, Yorkist has 10 hits, but the Lancastrian has 23. That's a lot of hits. Let's start with the Lancastrian this time. And let's try to absorb with the militia of the king. The king has 4 militia, armor value of 1. No, unbelievable. So only 1 rooted. They are doing well, the militia. Let's try to absorb another 3. 1 is safe, so let's continue absorbing with that 1. Okay, it's dead. So the king now has men-at-arms, vassal, but we also have our friend Somerset. But let's try absorb 1 hit with a man-at-arm. Okay, no more hits for man-at-arm, please. So let's try to absorb with the longbowman of Somerset. Dead. So I don't know how to absorb 23 hits. Oh my god. We have 3 valor. So let's start with Milord Oxford. Okay, first one. Second, okay. Third, okay. Now we have another 20 to go. Okay. Okay. Another 18. Okay. Oxford, yes. Another 16. It's a 3, okay. Another 15. No, okay. Just spend the first valor. The first valor for me. Lord Oxford, okay. Very nice. So, okay. Another 14 to go. Very nice. Another 13. Okay, another 12. Yes, Oxford. 11. Unbelievable. Okay. We could spend the second valor because it's a different hit. No. Oxford. I'm sorry. So let's go with Lord Falkenberg. Yes. Another 10 to go. Yes. Okay, another 8. Okay, another 7. Masses are great, guys. Okay, we have the last valor. No, Lord Falkenberg. But we have Worcester. Very nice. Another 3. Last 3. Okay. Okay. We have incredibly low average. Oh, okay. Lord Worcester. So we have the last hit. The last hit. We try to absorb with the retinue. It's a 3. Okay. This is the final situation, guys. We only have retinue and 1 troop. Fantastic. And 0 valor. But we survived. So, second round of the battle. This time we also have Warwick facing Lord Somerset. Do we want to flee? No. With Edward? No, let's remain in the field. Let's fight till the end. This is the final battle. So, let's start with the first engagement. Warwick versus Somerset. So, Warwick has 6 hits for his longbowman, meanwhile Somerset has 4. Let's start with Warwick. Montagu and his retinue has a rating of 5 of concerning armor. And that's because of Montagu capability. So let's try to absorb with the Montagu vassal. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. All 4 it's absorbed. 5 it's very high. Then Lord Somerset has he has 6 hits to go. These are his situation. So let's start with the 2 longbowmen. The route. Let's start with Lord Stanley. Unbelievable. Let's try to save me. First valor. Okay. Safe. Lord Stanley again. It's safe. No. Okay, let's try to save him. Okay. Lord Stanley again. Safe. Last one. It's a 5. Last valor. No. Lord Stanley is rooted. So now we have melee. The Lancaster and Somerset has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lord Warwick has 14. Let's start with Warwick. Start with the Montagu. It's great. It's good. It's good. No, first valor. Montagu. Okay. And this, by the way, are traits. Montagu again. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. And unbelievable. Mighty Warwick. So, Somerset. 14 hits. Let's start with Andrew Trollope. Root. The other vassal, Beaumont, is rooted. And he has 1 retinue. 1 man at arm. Start with the retinue. Okay. Another 11 to go. Retinue okay. Retinue okay. Another 9 to go. Retinue. Made. Okay. Another 6. Another 6. Another 5. No, it's gone. It's gone. The retinue is gone, and so it's rooted. It's immediately rooted. Let's go with the other engagement. No missile. So we instead go straight to melee. And Edward has 4 hits. Meanwhile, Henry VI 10 hits. So let's start with the king. Westmord. First hit. Second hit. No, but it has 1 valor. And it's safe. And the last hit, always on Westmord. And it's safe. Wow, impressive. So, Edward, let's begin with his retinue. Safe. 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 And it's rooted, immediately rooted. So that's the end. Second round combat. March and Somerset root. And Warwick stands in front of King Henry. But the situation is favorable to the Yorkist side. The king, the right thing to do would be just flee. But since it's the end of our scenario, just play it. And so we have 6 hits to absorb for the king, longbowman of Warwick. So let's begin vessel. Okay, second one. Okay, third one. Okay, okay. Last one, another vassal. Okay, so we have 2 vassals, 1 retinue, 1 man at arms. So melee, 8 hits by the king and 14 for Warwick. Let's start with the king. 1 vassal, 1, okay. Third one, no. Dudley, great start. Sorry, with Clifford. No, the first hit. Clifford, great. The retinue, okay. Rooted. The king is rooted. So the Lord's route, put it away from the map. We had already disbanded the vessels calendar. The Yorkists will gain a total of 10 influence points for the Lords and also another 5 for the disbanded vassals. We have no spoils because Ely, the place of the battle, was Lancastrian favor. Warwick has no losses. We need to check for the death, death check just for fun because the scenario is ended. But just to see. Henry the Sixth. Let's see. The old king is dead. Henry Beaufort is dead also. That's accurate. But the battle in history would have been at Exxon. And Edward, this one is tough. And Edward survives. So lords would die are permanently removed from the game. Meanwhile, March has rooted but did not die. So he normally disbanded his cylinder on the calendar. 6 minus his influence rating. Procedure for the vessels the same. Okay, now it's time to feed our troops, but bad news. Warwick has no food, so pillage troops will pillage the place. Ely is not exhausted, so we exhaust the locale. It's already on Lancastrian favor. These are all Lancastrian favor, but this one is adjacent, and then make a shift on the Lancastrian side, so it's neutral, and they have a +1 in town. So we have provenders and 2 coins for pillaging Ely, and we will lose 8 influence points. So we lose double the assets, and so +3 for the Lancastrian. Of course, we must feed the troops now, and we have the provender, otherwise we be disbanded. So that was the end of campaign. The last card. So we have the Tides of War phase. The Yorkists dominate. The Wales dominates the south. The north are dominated by the Lancastrians. So they have a +2 net. But they have favor in London, Calais and Harlech. So +5. They have the most cities, but not the most town. No capabilities. And this is the final score. The Yorkists, the king's side, are victorious this turn.
Just to clarify, the Yorkists are victorious regardless of the final influence point count. I know the rules, guys. The side upon victory check is immediately victorious if the other side has no lords on the field or in the next box of the calendar with an exile markers, so great victory here for the Yorkist side.
Edward is on the calendar, ready to be master, and Warwick is currently ruling, has free reign over England. So this was the end of our scenario. This was Plantagenet, Cousins War for England, and this was Winter Quartering. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment to help support the channel, but thank you very, very much regardless. Until the next time, have a good one. Bye guys.